Boise State fans, welcome on in. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday for Tust. Busy day for both of us. We're both heading over to Portland, but couldn't skip out on our weekly segment here. I just met Jay the other day, so I wouldn't let him get out of this one. But Jay, we appreciate it, man. It's an exciting week. It's one of those weeks where you don't get much sleep, but it's okay because we're covering an NCAA tournament game on Thursday.
It truly is one of the favorite things that I've covered since I've been at KTVB. Back in 2013 and 2015, I traveled out to Dayton, covered both those games, the one where LaSalle couldn't miss and the one where the Flyers benefited from their own home court in the NCAA tournament, which is something that to the day is unheard of outside of that one occasion. But the energy that the NCAA tournament provides it's on another level. I relate it to, a few years ago when LeBron was hitting free agency and he was talking about, potentially going to the Knicks. And he said, Madison Square Garden, the court feels like it's alive. Like it's the only court in the NBA to him that feels like it has its own character, its own personality. And when you show up to the NCAA tournament, man, the court just feels alive. You have every team there is playing for everything. It is their season on the line. It is win or go home. It is continue to dream or head into your off season. And for some players, BJ, as you know, this could be it.
Well, Rudy says ball game was on fire yesterday. Jay better bring his A game. So we'll see. I don't know how you like being compared to Johnny Ballgame. I don't know.
I'll yell louder and talk more about the 1989 Supersonics.
Nate says still feels like I'm dreaming talking about basketball on March 15th.
Awesome.
Brian saying, let's go Broncos. What do you make, Jay, of the draw? And at this point, it is what it is. But I know fans were a little disappointed with the 8 seed. For me, I just thought this team at least deserved to be a favorite in their first game. And you're going to have Memphis going off as a 2-3-4 point favorite in this game. But that was my only issue. I have no issue with Gonzaga. By the time you get to the second round, you're going to have to play a 2 or 3 or 4 seed anyway, a team that's probably significantly better than you. So I didn't really care about Gonzaga. I actually think that part's awesome. I literally think I love that it's in Portland. I love that it's Gonzaga because you just, what other time would you have an opportunity to play a team like that and just have a chance to see where you line up? But the only issue I have is that Memphis is literally since February 1st, the number 2 ranked team in the country in all the metrics. I mean, they're literally playing as good as anybody. And so it just seems like a little bit of a raw deal on the first game based on what they did this year. That's my only thing, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I was pretty terse, if you will, following the NCAA selection show. The only good thing about it, BJ, is we literally had to wait around for 90 seconds. That was the best part about it. We weren't sitting by our TVs wasting time when we don't have time to waste, waiting 40 minutes for them to be the final team.
Getting to that like fourth bracket, we're like, hey, did they forget about them? Did they forget to put them in? What happened?
And when they went to Dayton a couple of years ago, we had to wait around for a little while. And so Gonzaga popped up, and in my mind, I did not I mean, straight up, BJ, I didn't think that after winning the Mountain West Conference tournament, I thought had they lost there, then that would have been a great possibility. But winning outright in the regular season, winning the conference tournament, I thought it meant they were going to have to travel back east because they got a 6 or 7 seed. Didn't think that they would get as high as a 5, which could have then returned place them in Portland again. But I just thought they'd have to travel out east because they would have earned a 6 or 7 seed. And then immediately after they announced, Gonzaga's matchup, the 16-1, boom, Boise State pops up, and you're like, oh man, like, wow. And then you're like, okay, well, at least that means they're probably playing like a Davidson or a Murray State or I don't know, something that would have been a little more favorable. And then no, boom, Memphis pops up. And so that is, it's a tough first round draw. I think the thing that I'm excited to see about that matchup, BJ, is that Memphis is still pretty young. And while they've really started to click and figure it out, I think this one of the best attributes of this Boise State basketball team is their veteran presence. Like, they are a savvy, determined, tough group. And can that win out? Man, we'll see it Thursday at 11:45 a.m. Mountain Time.
Rudy says he thinks the seeding was a trade-off for being close to Portland.
Probably.
But I don't know if they probably think they're doing the Boise State a favor, but I'm not sure playing Memphis is much of a favor.
On the flip side of this, though, BJ, if I'm Gonzaga, like, they probably are the ones that shouldn't be like too stoked about this. I mean, when it comes to the 8 and 9 seeds in this tournament, I mean, Boise State, Memphis might be the best 8, and I mean, technically, I guess they are the best 8. I interpreted that wrong the other day. I thought that the way that it snakes back around or whatever, I thought that they gave Boise State the worst 8 seed. It was the best 8 seed, but man, if I'm Gonzaga, the number 1 overall seed, and you're facing one of those 2 teams in the second round, that's a tough draw.
And then potentially, if Boise State wins, like literally you're saying the top 8, so the highest possible team they could have played in the second round, they may have to play.
Yeah.
You've got Keaton saying no complaining about the seeding, but it's impossible not to notice. He looks at the AP rankings. Jay, you had the AP rankings come out yesterday. 2 teams behind them in the poll are 2 seed lines better. 4 unranked teams with higher seeding. Now, I will say this. I was the voter for 9 years before handing it off to you, thankfully. The AP poll is more about what you're doing lately and kind of now, I think. And I think the seeding for the tournament is more your complete body of work. I don't think you're taking too much account into the Cal Bakersfield loss when you're putting your top 25 ballot together, but they are when they're putting the seeding together. So it doesn't go hand in hand.
I don't know how fair that is. I mean, straight up, and I think the one thing that I've learned over the last month, and maybe we've already known this, BJ, but like it just kind of continues to reiterate it. There is no metric out there that is gospel. And I think while the metrics are really valuable to helping everybody judge, the best teams in the country, there still has to be somewhat of a human element to it. And I'm sorry, man. Like you're exactly right. When I put my rankings out, I had Boise State at 20. I have a very difficult time holding that Cal State Bakersfield loss against this team. And one thing I will say about that, and that's why there are votes for AP all across the country. They're not just, that's why they include us in Boise, Idaho in these polls, right, BJ? Because every voter in their own specific market can have the time and effort to evaluate that. Like maybe there's another team out there, Iowa or something, that they're playing hot right now. I had them at 16 in my ballot, but maybe there's a loss back on the schedule that a voter in Iowa is like, yeah, they should be higher than that because that loss should not be held against them. They were without so-and-so or whatever it might be. But I can't hold that Cal State Bakersfield loss against this team, which was by far Boise State's worst loss of the season.
Well, we talked about it with Johnny a little bit yesterday, but it was kind of a unique scene seeing Boise State at the airport, had the laptop propped up on a Krispy Kreme donut stand there trying to find out who they were going to play. And here's when they find out it's Memphis. I didn't get now I'm going to play it one more time for folks because, right, look at Mike Burns, double fist, hands in the air. I mean, I didn't get oh my gosh, why are we in 8, Jay? It didn't look like that to them. No. And then when they say Memphis, you don't look, I mean, it's like, oh, all right, let's go. The immediate reaction could have been, wait, what, 8? Like, look, there was no one looking around. They immediately started cheering. And then when they said Memphis, I thought the guys, at least initially, seemed pretty fired up about it.
Yeah. Why wouldn't they be, man? Like, let's not – hey, we can complain and moan and whatnot about improper seating potentially and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, like – and I got caught – I honestly straight up got caught in the moment a little bit the other day too. The team's going to the NCAA tournament. This is incredible. Like, well, by all regards.
The thing I'll say, Jay, is that just the one thing left for this team to accomplish is to win their first tournament game. It's the last thing left. They got the highest ranking in AP history. They won the regular season. They won literally the only monkey, like in the history of this program's back, that you can exercise all demons forever is to win that first tournament game. And I think a lot of people thought this was the year, this was the team to do it. And they felt like what they did during the regular season maybe deserved a little easier game in the first round. So I think that's the only angst is when they see that it's Memphis and it's like, really, we did all this and we're never going to win a tournament game. I mean, so I if they get by Memphis, then I think it's like everyone doesn't care anymore. You're playing Gonzaga. It's for fun. Yeah. It is what it is. Derek loves to draw. Oh, go ahead.
On the flip side, BJ, like being an 8 seed, if you can pull an early upset in the round of 32, you really could potentially mess up a bracket that allows you to go on a little bit of a run. So.
And we all know that first Thursday, those early games is usually some crazy game. And I know it doesn't seem like it because it's an 8-9 game, but it'll feel like one of those crazy games if Boise State, pulls off the win. And so it's the third game of the tournament, first game in Portland. It starts at 10:45 a.m. I can't imagine, like, I don't know. It has the feel that would help Boise State, you would think, in a situation like that.
I'm not going to disagree with you. And again, I think the biggest thing that might play into Boise State's benefit, again, is their senior leadership. And the one thing about this team that, it's different than years past, and Leon Rice talked a little bit about this, they revamped this defense, and it's been really, really good so far. And so if they can really dictate pace, tempo, all that stuff, and control the game, which they've been really good at for the most part, then I think they got a good chance. Now, I will say this about Memphis too, and you kind of brought this up, one of the best teams in the country over the last month and a half or so. And their ability to, they play pretty good defense at times, and when they invest in defense, they're very, very good. And they don't necessarily play the quickest tempo. They play a quicker tempo than Boise State, but not necessarily the quickest of tempos. And so I'm fascinated by this matchup. I can't wait to see how it goes down. Penny Hardaway is a fantastic recruiter. He has brought in the who's who of studs when it comes to prospects at Memphis. And while it took them a little while to get going, they have been clicking as of late. But one other thing I want to bring up, BJ, is the fact that, Boise State offensively, and this was a narrative that started to kind of evolve about a month ago. Back on, when the calendar flipped to the month of February, Boise State was right in the middle of the NCAA. I want to say they were ranked 141st in Ken Palm's offensive efficiency ratings, right? And if you look right now, they've jumped all the way to 76. Just because they don't go out and they don't score, 70, 80 points per game on the regularly doesn't mean that this offense isn't very good. And the defense gets a lot of attention, but at times, especially with the evolution and confidence that Abu Kijab is playing with down in the post right now, he really has found a sweet spot down there, a go-to shot, that little move to your left, turn around, fade away in the paint from about 6 feet, and it's been pretty unstoppable. So, this Boise State offense, I don't know if it's necessarily getting the credit that it deserves right now. And if they can play both a complete game on both ends of the floor, they can give just about anybody a run for their money.
Hey, quick shout out to a couple of our great sponsors. Discount, hellodiscount.com. It's a local company. It's an online mortgage company. You can get lower rates, refinance your home today. Hellodiscount.com. Ridley's Family Markets. Mark Ridley and his group just do an amazing job. 13 area locations. ShopRidleys.com. They got the at-home shopping, the Skip app, all the great stuff there. We appreciate their support. You can check it out at ShopRidleys.com. United Commercial Insurance, making business insurance easy for you. 208-229-8222. They can write policies in 44 states around the country. I saw Brandon Minert down at the tournament, who runs United Commercial Insurance. Big Boise State fan. So if you own a business, please consider United Commercial Insurance. I know, Jay, things are going well at the TV business, but down the line, Transportation Compliance Service, complete trucking compliance management. If you're looking to get into the trucking industry, it's a very profitable, good career change move right now for folks. So TCS, Transportation Compliance Service, helps get you going. Another local company that can help national folks around the country get out there and toe in that last road. And last but not least, Boise Dentistry Co. Locations in Boise, Caldwell, and Mountain Home, 906-1255. You see the phone number there, boisedentistryco.com. Those are my kids on the screen there. Our entire family has made the switch to Dr. Chris Minert, and hopefully you will as too. It's fun going to the dentist, having a chance to talk Boise State hoops with Dr. Chris Minert. So appreciate their support. And one final plug, our bracket challenge, Jay. Maybe we can get Jay Tust to enter a bracket in here and see who can beat Jay. BroncoNationNews.com. First place wins a $100 gift card to the Blue and Orange store. We got prizes for second and third place as well. So please go to BroncoNationNews.com, and there's a link there and under one of the stories to sign up for the bracket challenge. We're doing it through ESPN this year, and so we'll see if anybody can beat Jay or I or Johnny or Prater and shouldn't be that hard to beat Johnny, probably. It's He called me asking where the Vandals were on his sheet to try to pick them, but I had to break it to him that they weren't still in the tournament. But
that doesn't surprise me.
Somebody was asking here, Jay. Let me find the comment here. Let's see. Patty's wanting to know more just about Memphis and the game in particular and what it's going to take to beat them. So let's hear a quick soundbite from Leon Rice, who talked at the airport yesterday about playing Memphis in the NIT last year and how that could help them going into this game.
Yeah, like I said, I got the chance to watch them on the, our crack staff put together some film and had some on the plane, and so you get ahead of things right away. And first of all, they're super athletic. And they get after the ball really hard. And they, remember the first half down there in the NIT, I think we probably were going to set a school record for turnovers in that first half because of them. And that's what they're doing. They can disrupt the game and really not let you do what you were trying to do and try to play it on their terms. And then they make up for any mistakes they make with their extreme athleticism. And then one of the best rebounding teams in the country too. So all those things, make for tough sledding against them.
You guys win.
Well, Jay, Leon Rice talking about Memphis there, and obviously Jalen Duren is the headline attraction there. 12.2 points, 8.1 rebounds. A likely lottery pick in this draft coming up, but they've got a couple familiar names: DeAndre Williams, Lester Quionis, Landers Nolly, that played in last year's NIT game. What do you make of this version of the Memphis Tigers? And obviously, he mentioned the turnovers. I do remember at times Boise State struggling to get the ball across half court, but Ray Dennis no longer on the roster, who is struggling with some of that. But they're big, they're athletic, they're physical. I mean, it's going to be a different type of team. I mean, I kind of compare them to a San Diego State type team, just with the athleticism and some of the size and the 6'7", 6'8" wing players. But it's going to be a different type of team than most Boise State fans have seen this year.
Yeah, it seems like for the most part, Memphis. I don't mind your comparison to San Diego State. They're probably a little bit better offensively. San Diego State can be pretty offensively challenged at times, and Memphis is better in those regards. And it's not just one guy that they rely on like San Diego State. They kind of have a couple that can go get it for them. This is like, man, I feel like I'm a coach right now because I'm going to give you such like coach speak. I feel like Boise State's version of themselves now compared to the team that played Memphis last year is so much better that I almost even have a tough time drawing a comparison to that game. I mean, I feel like they're so much better now than they were last year. Not only like what we can literally see, but all like the intangibles too. This team is connected, bonded. They've worked through so much adversity, and so if I probably will invest in that in terms of how I feel about this matchup. And I don't mean literally, by the way, but I just feel like this version of Boise State is so much better than the team that played Memphis last year that I think they got a shot. Like I absolutely do.
Yeah, I think Memphis would say the same thing. They're obviously much better this year. If
they are, but I mean, remember, Memphis barely missed out on the NCAA tournament last year. I mean, like that was kind of a snub, and then they get in the NIT and they go on a run. So, like, I do think Memphis is a little bit better than they were, but I think Boise State, and that just could be because I watched a lot of Boise State, not as much Memphis, but I think Boise State is a lot better than they were at this point in time last year.
Joel from the Blue Collar Club says, agreed, Jay. It's not the same team. This one is much more gelled. You've got Jordan Morales saying, since Jay and BG are fanboys now, shot at another team's radio announcer, assuming you have a bracket where Boise State takes the title.
Yeah.
You got Boise State going all the way in your bracket, Jay?
Yeah. I gotta say, it's been a little while since I've got to fill out a bracket with my Washington State Cougars, the alma mater, in it, right? BJ, you got to do this every year for the last 32 years, I believe, for Kansas.
No other fan base can say they've done it longer.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no other fan base is stupid as you or something. I don't know. I got nothing. I got zero comeback for that. But I think as a fan, though, BJ, seriously, like if I thought the Cougs could go to the round of 32, I had to put them in the Sweet 16. Like, you don't want to shortchange your alma mater, right? Like that's the way you look like an idiot filling out a bracket. If all of a sudden your alma mater goes farther in the bracket than you had them going, then you look. I think that's how you could look potentially stupid in terms of filling out a bracket. Now you do you filling out brackets, and if money's on the line, like I said, don't use any of that I just gave you. But if your team goes farther in the bracket than you had them going, just saying, not a good thing.
Joel's saying, do you think Gonzaga fans will be cheering for Boise State in the first game?
I think so. Yeah, I mean that's what everybody wants to see. Everybody, that's the reason why Boise State's important. I mean, the NCAA selection committee saw that it might be a possibility of Mark Few versus Leon Rice in the second round. So I think that everybody would welcome that. And Gonzaga is going to welcome whoever they play right now. They've played so well. I do think that Boise State's defense has the ability to make the Bulldogs a little uncomfortable. I do. I think that they have enough length and size that it could make Gonzaga a little uncomfortable. But, we'll have to wait and see if we even get to see that matchup. I certainly hope we do.
That's Nate's hot take here. They beat Memphis. They have nothing to lose, and Gonzaga is, quote, very beatable.
Yeah.
He says. Sure, I'd go very beatable, but crazier things have happened in the tournament.
Hey, man, this is, Will and I were driving home early in the wee hours of the morning on Sunday after Boise State won on Saturday night to get back here for Selection Sunday. And this is absolutely the basketball team's Fiesta Bowl moment, right? I mean, we are back in 06 where these little Broncos are taking on the mighty Oklahoma Sooners. Nobody gives them a chance, and they shock the world. So this is absolutely Boise State's 2006 Fiesta Bowl moment.
Kurt Blake chiming in. We didn't have Keyjab or Rice last year. That certainly is something to mention. Nate saying that the winner gets a Big 12 invite. Keaton was bringing up the whole travel issue with Colorado State. It was actually an issue for Boise State too. Boise State didn't find out till about 7:15 p.m. last night that, you're leaving at 1:30 tomorrow. And then they all of a sudden 20 minutes later call it and changed it to 12 or something. So the NCAA and their travel partners and the coordinators or however that handles, somebody asked, why is Colorado State waiting on the NCAA? Well, the NCAA pays and books all of the teams' travel for the tournament, and they have certain charter companies they use, and there's some charter flights that they have to literally zigzag back and forth to go pick up one team, take them somewhere, go pick up another team, and somehow as of 10 p.m. last night, Jay, Colorado State didn't still know where they were going, but then they did find out, you're going and you leave at 9:30 tomorrow morning, so good luck.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, travel's a nightmare. Like it is. Like we even planned to go out a little bit later today, and then now all of a sudden we're flying out at 3 because tickets go so quickly. And I know that they're dealing with charters. I will say a little unfair if you're Colorado State. I could at least understand why they perceive it that way because, they take on a Michigan team that's just going to bus over, to Indianapolis, and Colorado State's got to worry about getting there. And to have that uncertainty when coaches are so schedule oriented, we practice here, we'll eat here, we'll walk through now, and to have that completely up in the air, 48 hours or so, 72 hours or so, I guess, before you play in an NCAA tournament game. I mean, I can understand why coaches have anxiety over that. Like that, I can absolutely understand that. And I saw the tweet. Maybe I can't remember if you retweeted it or maybe it was just on a thread somewhere, BJ. But Tennessee was like, screw it. We're not waiting on the NCAA to figure out this out. We're just booking our own charter and going on our own schedule, which, hey, man, if you got the resources, that's probably not the bad way to go.
No, not at all. Not at all. Jen says, are they still leaving at 11:10 today? Yes, that is the plan. 11:10 a.m. Heading for there from, I think it's entrance 3 or somewhere right there at Extra Mile Arena when they get on the bus. So head on out if you want to see the team around 11 o'clock or so. Send them off. Perry says, surprise, only Utah State got invited to the NIT. They've got a home game tonight, I think, actually.
Oregon.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. Nick trying to challenge you, man, says not that big. I actually agree with you. If it got to the Gonzaga game, I'm not there right now, but if they won the first game, I think the Gonzaga game would be every bit as big of an Oklahoma Fiesta.
Absolutely. I could argue it's bigger. I mean, that's a 1 seed. That's
not only a 1 seed, the number 1 team in the country.
Yeah,
Oklahoma was ranked like what, 6th or 7th?
Yeah, I mean, Boise State basketball upsetting the number 1 team in the country like that. I could argue that's a bigger narrative or a bigger storyline. I know that they won't necessarily get a trophy for it, but I mean, that would be big. So actually, maybe they would. Do they get anything for going to the Sweet 16, BJ, technically?
I don't know the answer to that. I think it's just if you win your whole region to go to the Final Four.
Yeah.
If you get to go to the Final Four, you get to cut down the nets and have a trophy for regional.
Well, we'd have a lot of cool storylines to talk about. Plus,
no doubt about it.
I mean, I work with a Gonzaga Bulldog, Cohen Jenkins, and I know that from talking with him, Gonzaga's trembling in their boots about having to face Tyson Degenhart potentially. So, I mean, to see all the talent that Gonzaga brings, to Spokane, and they had this kid right in their backyard, and they couldn't even secure him. I mean, one has to argue if the integrity of Gonzaga's entire basketball program is about to fall off a cliff, BJ. I mean, one really has to argue that. So I'm kidding.
Hey, the blueandorange.store.com. If you're looking for that Boise State gear, if you're heading over to Portland, they got all the great Nike gear there, all the cool stuff. Blue and Orange Store. You can go to the Boise Town Square Mall and get it in person, or you can go to the blueandorangestore.com, rowpaint.com as well, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. They've done some work on my garage, on my back patio. They do an amazing job, and they're big Boise State supporters. So if you're thinking about that concrete coating project or exterior, interior painting in your house, rowpaint.com is the ones that you need to call. Final couple things here, Jay, before we get out of here. I'm hitting the road as soon as this show's over. For once, I'm driving and you're flying. I don't know how that happened.
How about that?
I'm not sure how that happened, but it'll be fun. Gonna hit the road, and I don't mind the road. Listen to some podcasts and hit the road. Hopefully the weather's okay heading over there. But just Jay, in general, just this team, this moment. Does this team need to win this Memphis game? Does it change your feeling about this season at all if they lose to Memphis?
I don't think so. I mean, let's not get too carried away. This team needed to make the NCAA tournament, and they did. And I think that should be enough. It is kind of awesome that this team has exceeded expectations to the point where we even asked that question, BJ. So I will say this though, man. If Abu Kijab wants to go down as this is crazy, BJ.
Can he become one of the GOATs? He can become one of the GOATs.
I'm just saying, man. Like I never ever would have thought that I would have had this conversation or even brought up this question. And this is no disrespect to what Abu did up prior to last week. But I never thought that I would even have the question where I'm asking if somebody has done more for this program than Derek Marks. Derek Marks is on top of the mountain for me in terms of the Boise State greats. He just is. His toughness, his durability, his production. He's got history everywhere when it comes to individual, team success, all of that. But you look at what Abu Kijab is doing right now. If they win an NCAA tournament game, we seriously have to ask that question. We have to ask that question and have that conversation if Abu is the greatest of all time to play at Boise State. I know that it sounds crazy. Sit down and look at those.
Yeah, he won't have the actual like individual stats accolades, but you look at the importance to the team and a regular season outright champion, the best, the most impactful player on the best team in Boise State history. I don't think there's any doubt that he would at least be in the top 2 or 3. I think he's probably already top 5.
Oh, definitely.
If he goes, and like I said, this team has done every single thing possible except win that first tournament game. If they win that tournament game and they beat Memphis, and you get to go see what happens against Gonzaga, it would literally be. I mean, I don't know how to describe it. They would have every single thing possible. They would have accomplished every single box along the way.
Highest ranking in AP poll.
It's already the best team in school history, but it would cement it like forever as one of the all-time like team. I mean, not just Boise State basketball, but Boise State athletics. I mean,
all of a sudden you look up at that, BJ, and you're like, and the next teams are like, how the hell do we do that again? So I think that if
tournament MVP, by the way, as well.
I will say, when it comes to MVPs, Derek had the regular season one back in 15. Abu gets the tournament one now. I'm not going to hold it against Derek that they weren't outright Mountain West champs in 15 because they had the tiebreaker. They should have been outright champs. They weren't. So Abu right now has the tournament title over Derek. Derek has multiple NCAA tournament appearances over Abu. But if Abu leads his team to victory against Memphis and who knows, maybe more, then, man, that is one hell of an argument, dude.
I like that discussion. I got 6 hours to think about it on 6.5 or whatever it is on my drive over there today. But yeah, and that's it. I mean, that's what yes.
Friday morning, we'll update fans on it.
We will. I hope Friday morning we're still in Portland thinking about getting ready for press conferences and stuff before a game on Saturday. But you think about it, and Yeah, like I said, it's been an amazing season. It's already by far, it is no debate. They're the best team in school history. They've done more than any team has ever done already. But if it just feel they keep saying this, we're not finished, we're not done. One more. This is literally the final one more. You get one more win, you get one more, and it just I think it changes so much moving forward. It just I think people right in the moment might be disappointed if they lose on Thursday. When you wait a day or two and realize what they did, you're going to say that was an effing unbelievable season. But if there is some way they can just win on Thursday, I think that it just would be. I just think fans want it so bad, Jay, because they're just so close and getting that monkey off their back. This team just seems to be so special. And oh, by the way, you'd get to have a once in a lifetime opportunity to play the number one team in the country on national TV. I think it all sets up, and in about 52 hours or so, we'll have our answer.
I'll leave you with this. After Nevada missed that potential game winner at the buzzer, Leon Rice brought up maybe he has a team of destiny, right?
Yep.
One thing that was, just something that gets lost in the emotion and excitement. You look at the Mountain West tournament. Boise State won 3 games there, right? 2 of them were decided at the buzzer where the opponent missed. Maybe this is a team of destiny. If it comes down to Boise State getting a stop, I like their chances. If it comes down to Marcus Shaver getting a shot off despite his recent struggles, hopefully he's feeling better. Look at the history. Maybe it is a team of destiny. So all that I know is I can't wait to see it play out on center court.
In 10 seconds or less, if it comes down to the final possession against Memphis, would you rather needing a stop or having the ball in Marcus Shaver's hands?
I'll go needing a stop, just because I think this team has a pretty high batting average getting the stops in the last 5 minutes. No shade on you, Marcus. You fire away, my man. But I'll say that I'd rather have him going after a stop.
All right, Jay, safe travels to you. We'll see you over there this evening in Portland, and we'll have full coverage the rest of the week. KTVB will be live every night, I'm sure, with coverage and things like that. We can't go live from inside the arena, though. They got some weird rules I was looking at.
Yeah, the NCAA tournament, they like to hog it all to themselves, so we're still going to find our ways.
Yeah, we're looking to find a local sports bar or something around the arena, maybe for our post-game show. We're trying to figure things out. But, yeah, they like on the off day, you can have 2 minutes, and then the other days you can't. It's really – it's weird, folks. We'll KTVB will have you covered. We'll have you covered as well. Bronco Nation News. Jay, we'll see you over there, man.
Sounds good.
Yep, there he is, Jay Tust. Appreciate his time as always. The best in the business there, the sports director over at KTVB, and appreciate him coming on and doing the show, when we're traveling and doing some late things. So appreciate that. I do want to give a quick shout out. Timberstone Golf Course, playtimberstone.com. They're hosting our golf tournament on June 3rd. So June 3rd, keep the date saved for the Bronco Nation News Golf Classic. I believe Coach Rice and some of the basketball coaches are going to be out there. That's the plan as of now. And so come meet some of the basketball coaches, meet Coach Rice, and there's going to be some other dignitaries out there. We're working on Brett Rippon. He's given me a tentative yes as well. So June 3rd is the date, but in the meantime, get out to, not today because it's raining, but get out to Timberstone. It's out there in Caldwell. It's not as far of a drive as you think. And it's a great course, great greens, best greens in the Valley. I was talking to Tim Duryea, the assistant coach, about it the other day. He says they're the best greens in the Valley, and he would know. He plays a lot of golf. So appreciate Kelly Christensen, everybody at Timberstone Golf Course for their support of the show, and hope you'll get out there. And we'll be giving away some rounds of golf as well out there moving forward here too. We got a lot of great stuff in the works. It all just kind of got put on hold because of this basketball team. We had plans for all kinds of stuff moving forward, and we're going to have a whole off season of stuff to fill. But we're all basketball right now. We haven't had much spring football coverage, but we're stocking up the videos. We're going to give you some spring football coverage after the spring game now and later April and into May, because we want to focus on basketball right now. So we got a lot going on. We'll cover it all, but right now this is all Boise State basketball. The team will arrive this afternoon. Again, 11:10 a.m. You can go support them out at the outside Extra Mile Arena, 11:10 a.m. when they depart. And then we'll be in Portland. We're doing some interviews with Coach Rice and some players at the team hotel this evening. So make sure that I've said it several times, but make sure you're subscribing to our YouTube page. It's just youtube.com/Bronco Nation News. All of the videos this week will be put there. Coach Rice, the players, practice video, all the stuff that we compile while we're in Portland this week will be posted to our YouTube channel, Bronco Nation News. It's right there, youtube.com/Bronco Nation News. So we're at 902 subscribers. We're trying to get to 1,000. So please help us get to 1,000 subscribers. It helps in the different searches and things like that. So that'd be a bit when we're pushing closer. When I started this push a couple of weeks ago, we were at about 350, and now we're up to 902. So help us get to 1,000, and that's that way too. You can check the little thing there, and then anytime a new video gets posted, you get notified, so you can go see the interviews and things like that as well. So appreciate everybody for checking this out. Nick saying good show. Appreciate that. I'm with Jay. BSU's D is awesome. They missed their last 3 shots. Getting stuffed by Milner. That'd be a nice finish to the game. Yeah, it's been fun. And by the way, Colin is going. We had a generous, I don't know if he wants his name out there or not, but we had a generous subscriber come forward with a $200 donation. There is a donation button on the BroncoNationNews.com. When you go to subscribe, there's a donation button. And we had someone send me a note saying they wanted to help with $200 to help get Colin Mitchell, our intern, to Portland. So we're going to make it happen. Colin Mitchell will be in Portland. And Boise State is like 10 or 11-0 with Colin at the games. And he's been doing a great job all year, and he deserves to be there for the tournament. And so Colin Mitchell will be there, our associate reporter / intern, thanks to your subscriptions and thanks to a generous donation by one of our subscribers. If you're on the fence about subscribing, you see the code at the bottom there, BNN35. BNN35. We're keeping it going here in honor of the tournament. $35, the lowest discount we've ever done, the lowest discount we'll ever do. It's only a limited time right now, $35. That's 50% off the yearly price of $70. So if you're on the fence, please consider that and help us get a few more subscriptions and take advantage of the team right now. And it's a pretty penny to rent a car these days and pay for gas and pay for 4 or 5 nights hotel. So anything you can do to help is appreciated. And it's, again, $35 for a whole year if you use the promo code BNN. So we appreciate that. And we're looking forward to getting over to Portland. Again, coverage will start this evening with the team arriving, and we'll have interviews up on that YouTube channel. And then tomorrow, if you're in Portland, 12:30, open practice for fans. That's one of the cool things about the NCAA tournament. The team goes out there and gets some shots up, and it's a open practice for fans to come watch inside the Moda Center, 12:30 tomorrow. We'll have full coverage of that, video, highlights. There'll be press conferences as well, so all kinds of stuff. And we appreciate everybody for checking it out. And again, we will talk to you later. We'll see you from Portland. Big week coming up for Boise State basketball. Looking forward to it. Should be a lot of fun. It's been an awesome ride the last 3-4 months since we started Bronco Nation News, and it's been great doing it with you fans and seeing how exciting it's been for you guys to see this team continue to play well and win. So let's keep it going. They've made a lot of history. We'll see if they can do it again. We'll talk to you from Portland here in 7 or 8 hours. So BJ Rains, Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com. Make sure to check out the website if you haven't, BroncoNationNews.com. Consider that subscription as well. $35 if you use the promo code BNN35. Have a good day, folks. We'll talk to you this evening from Portland as Boise State makes its first trip to the NCAA tournament since 2015.